Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Meet Ollie. This is my rabbit. So I thought today we'd go over my top 10 tips for new rabbit owners. And as a veterinarian, I see a decent amount of rabbits. Probably not as many as we probably should be seeing, but they can be really fun pets and they do deserve veterinary care as well. But this is more on the husbandry side of things, and these are the top 10 things that I think are important for you as a new rabbit owner to know and to think about before getting a rabbit. But even if you do have rabbits already, you still might be able to glean some information from these top 10 tips as well. Number one is do your research. So as a new rabbit owner, it's your responsibility to make sure that they are well taken care of. And although there's some bad information on the internet, there is a ton of good information on the internet about rabbits and proper husbandry, proper care, common diseases, and maybe what you guys should know as rabbit owners. So I do encourage you guys to do lots and lots of research, and if you're watching this video, you probably are, so I applaud you in that. Number two is proper expectations. So making sure that your expectations are in line with what a rabbit is actually going to be like. Not just that they're cute, adorable, and cuddly, and they're going to live a year or two and that's going to be it. This isn't a mouse, and they can live for a very long time. So making sure you understand and have planning for 8 to 10 years for each of your rabbits. Now, my first two rabbits, unfortunately, they had some health issues when they were young. One of them got a tooth root abscess and didn't make it, unfortunately. His name was Darcy. And my other rabbit, and I'll probably go into a little more of a story with these guys eventually, but the other rabbit, whose name was Valor, he basically had a giant hairball in his stomach. We don't know exactly why he died, if that was the cause or if that was going on along with something else. Number three is finding a veterinarian that works with rabbits. Now, depending on where you are in the country, this can be difficult and you may have to travel for a little ways. Not all dog and cat veterinarians are comfortable with rabbits because they don't see them that often. And those that do see them usually are going to see more than just one or two and are going to have a good idea of what's going on. However, one of the big things with rabbits is actually not, having a standard protocol like it is with dogs and cats, but problem solving because they are so different than dogs and cats and are actually in some ways more like a little horse. So sometimes a mixed animal veterinarian is going to be better equipped if they haven't dealt with rabbits than a small animal veterinarian. Not always, but sometimes. Number four, I'm going to assume that most of you are getting a rabbit for your house. Make sure that you prepare your house. When you're looking to prepare your house, think about anything that they can chew on, any corners, cords, any places you don't want them to be, and really make sure that you bunny-proof at least one room of your house if possible, and if better yet, if you can bunny-proof a floor or an larger area, that would be best for them, because that allows them to have a place where they could run and jump and really enjoy being out and about and doing it safely and making sure that you guys stay sane, because when they go and chew your last phone charging cord at night and it's too late to go buy a new one, you guys can imagine what the argument would be like between you and the rabbit. Number five is litter box training. Now, all rabbits should be pretty easy to litter box train. They like to go in the same place. And as long as you provide a good place where they're going to often go to the bathroom, they'll usually go in that place. Now, the exception to that is sometimes they will leave fecal pellets, or intact rabbits will spray outside of that litter box. And that's to mark their territory and say, this is mine. And getting them fixed, as we'll talk about in a second, can be very helpful in making sure they're litter box trained. But for my two bunnies, Ollie and Crumpet, all we had to do was put a litter box in there and they were trained. They didn't go anywhere else more than once or twice. And it was really super easy. And I'll maybe make a tips video on that eventually. But one big thing to remember is making sure you have proper litter in there. So no clay litter. Do not use cat litter. Now, you could use something like yesterday's news if you wanted to, but it's just not as absorbent as some of the paper litters that are by Carefresh or Oxbow. Some of those paper litters are going to be much, much better than the rest of them. And the same goes for wood chips. They're just not absorbent, and things like cedar or even sometimes pine can cause issues with a rabbit's respiratory system. So we don't recommend doing those kinds of things usually. Paper bedding is what we usually use. It's a little bit more expensive, but it lasts, I think, a little bit longer, and it works very well. Number 6 is to give your rabbit a place to run, and making sure that they're getting about an hour of exercise minimum each day. And along with this, they're very playful, and they enjoy running, jumping off of things, doing binkies, which if you don't know what that is, click this link up here and it'll show you what a binky is. But doing binkies and enjoying their time out and about is very important, and make sure they get exercise. Just like some of you guys, if you're locked in a room during COVID, they also will get kind of stir crazy and maybe pick up some bad habits if they're not getting enough exercise. Number 7 is being careful with other pets, and this means even other rabbits, because not all rabbits get along. So Crumpet, who you'll probably see in some B-roll up here, and Ollie do not get along. And part of that is that we had Ollie long before we had Crumpet, and so everything is Ollie's in his mind, and so they don't get along terribly well. So we keep them separate, but we let them both have their time to go out and run and play, and they just get to interact through the cage. But trying to get them to interact through a cage, and this even goes for your other pets, so cats and dogs, etc. Some dogs and cats will do great with rabbits, and rabbits with cats and dogs, especially if they grow up together, but not every dog is going to just relax and let the rabbit crawl all over them like our dog Watson does. Especially if you have a big rabbit like Ollie here. He is going to be able to take most cats and put them in their place, because when they try to push them, they'll box and they'll teach the cat that, hey, I'm boss. Now this doesn't always go for the smaller rabbits, but some of them can be really feisty. So if you are going to have your pets together, make sure that you at least introduce them really well together and try to supervise them the best you can. Number 8 is to spay or neuter your rabbit. Now, you might think, oh, why would you want to do that? It's a waste of money, whatever. But number 1, it's going to keep them healthier. And number 2, it's going to keep you sane. So what I mean by that... Hi. So what I mean by that is that when they are either an intact male, they're more likely to spray, and an intact male or female, they're more likely to leave pellets. Now, there's some evidence that male rabbits will live longer if they're neutered, not a lot, but with female rabbits specifically, making sure they're spayed is very important, because a female rabbit has a very, very high chance of developing some uterine carcinoma. Now, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when these female rabbits will get it. And so doing a spay early in life is going to be very helpful for their longevity and health. Number 9 is diet, making sure your rabbit has a fantastic diet and making sure it's balanced. So the number 1 food that they should be getting is hay. And the reason I say this is twofold. 1, they can get most of their nutrients from hay and most of their calories. And number 2, it will really, really help with their dental health. And this is part of doing your research, because their dental health is very important and it really quickly can get out of hand. And the number 2 thing should be some pellets. Now they need a few pellets because often a good high quality pellet is going to have most of their vitamins and minerals that they need. The other thing is you don't want them to become obese, and with pellets they're much more likely to eat too much or too many calories. And the third thing that we really want them to eat is some fresh vegetables. And this can be every single day, and some rabbits will even, if you work them up to it, can eat almost entirely fresh vegetables and a few pellets every single day. So make sure that we're limiting the number of fruits that they get every day. I know they can be great treats, and a piece of banana or a piece of apple can be fantastic for them. But if you overdo it, you can put them into what's called dysbiosis, and this is where the bacteria in their gut gets really messed up, and this can cause them to go downhill extremely quickly with some diarrhea. And if they get this, they can die extremely fast. So limit the number of fruits. Not that they can't have any, but try to limit them to a reasonable amount of, a couple pieces here and there. Number 10 is take time to enjoy your rabbit, because they're really social creatures and they love people, especially when they grow up with people. So take Ollie here. He's a great rabbit. He loves snuggling. As you can see, he's been bumping my elbow and wanting to see what's going on, looking for treats. And he's a fantastic rabbit and is a joy to just snuggle with, or even let him run around the house and play with the dog. I say play, the dog lays there and he climbs all over him. So keep an eye on your rabbits and make sure that you're taking the right time to really enjoy them, because they're a blessing in your house, especially when you take some of these tips into account and have done your research and take the time. So with that, have a fantastic rest of your day, guys, and thanks for joining in this video. If you did enjoy this video, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, as I'm going to continue doing some more rabbit content here in the future. One of my next videos that I'm really excited about is the top 5 rabbit diseases that you need to know about. And then I also want to make a video of a rabbit first aid kit. So first things you need to have on hand right now if your rabbit gets sick. So look forward to those videos, and we'll see you guys in the next one.